60 feet below the surface of the ocean. Divers swam through what should have been empty water and instead found streets, walls, staircases leading to nowhere. A city, fully intact, sitting in complete silence at the bottom of the sea, exactly where textbooks said no ancient civilization could have ever existed. No storm sank it. No war destroyed it. Something else happened here, something that erased an entire city from human memory for thousands of years, until the ocean finally gave it back. Think about the things in your own life that quietly disappear. A friendship that used to feel unbreakable, a version of yourself you used to be. A memory so far in the past it almost feels like it belonged to someone else. Things don't always vanish with an explosion. Sometimes they just slowly get covered, buried under time, until one day you look back and realize something that once felt permanent is completely gone. That's exactly what happened to this city. It didn't disappear overnight. It was swallowed, slowly, quietly, by the one force patient enough to hide an entire civilization, the sea. For centuries, this was dismissed as a myth. Old fishermen told stories about ruins beneath the waves. Ancient texts described a magnificent city that existed, then vanished, swallowed by water in what people called a punishment, a disaster, a legend too dramatic to be real. Historians rolled their eyes. Scientists moved on, until divers, following those same old stories, went looking anyway. And what they found beneath the waves made every skeptic go silent. Stone walls, perfectly aligned. Streets laid out with clear structure. Remnants of what looked unmistakably like a planned, organized city, not scattered rocks, not coincidence, but architecture, the kind of architecture that doesn't build itself. So the question became impossible to ignore. If this really was a city, how did an entire civilization end up at the bottom of the ocean? Some researchers pointed to rising sea levels after the last ice age, slowly swallowing coastlines humans had built their lives around, over centuries, not days. Others pointed to catastrophic earthquakes, sudden shifts in the earth that could drop entire coastal regions beneath the waterline in moments. And here's where it gets even more unsettling. In more than one part of the world, divers have found similar underwater ruins, structures far older than anything we assumed ancient humans could build, in locations that would have been completely dry land thousands of years ago, before the oceans rose and buried the evidence of what came before. Here's the part that actually matters, the part historians had to slowly accept. For a long time, the standard belief was that early humans were simple, primitive, incapable of large organized construction until relatively recent history. But structures like this forced a re-examination of that timeline. If people were building organized cities on coastlines that later disappeared underwater, then human civilization, real, structured, intentional civilization, may go back further than most textbooks ever taught us. These weren't disorganized settlements. These were planned cities, with sight lines, with purpose, built by people who understood construction, community, and permanence, long before we assumed such organization was possible. And this is the moment that hits hardest. This wasn't just a city that got unlucky. This was proof that human history itself has blind spots, entire chapters we assumed were empty, simply because the evidence was hidden somewhere we weren't looking. For thousands of years, people lived, built, dreamed, and created in a place that the modern world completely forgot existed. Not because it wasn't important, but because the ocean simply closed over it and time did the rest. Everything they built, everything they believed mattered enough to construct permanently in stone, ended up in complete darkness, forgotten by every generation that came after them, until now. And maybe that's the truth this discovery leaves you with. Just because something goes quiet doesn't mean it stops being real. Just because you can't see something anymore doesn't mean it never existed or that it doesn't still matter. Somewhere beneath the surface of everything, history, memory, even parts of ourselves, there are entire worlds waiting patiently to be found again. This lost city didn't disappear because it failed. It disappeared because the world changed around it, and no one was there yet to remember it properly. Now we are. If this made you think differently about how much of our own history is still hidden beneath the surface, subscribe, because the next lost world we uncover might rewrite everything you thought you knew.